Round 6 goes into the books. It looks like another one for Gabriels. Some action from the last round in which we see again the quick punching of Hanna Gabriels. Throwing a 4-punch combination there, which many of those punches got in. We head into round number 7. Gabriels fighting for the first time in a little over 9 months. She defended her title against Melisenda Perez, knocked her out in TKO in 7. For Dakota Stone, she's coming in off a win over Christy Martin a few months ago, 5 or 6 months ago, and now here she is in round number 7. Pretty far behind on the scorecards, one would imagine, though clearly my view is unofficial. And Dakota Stone trying to make something happen here in round 7. And you can sense Stone understanding she has to really pressure her. Good right to the body by Dakota Stone. Good hook by Stone. She is pressuring Gabriels and a body shot. So Dakota Stone getting there more with her punches. Nice right hand by Stone, and another. So here in round number 7 is this foreshadowing. Good right by Gabriels. But Dakota Stone doing her best work by far in this fight. Little under a minute left to go in the round. Still the movement by Gabriels, but she's not been able to counterpunch as effectively in this round. Some body work by Stone, slapping punches. Slips a right hand by Hanna. Dakota with a wild left hook, but you can sense there's a new sense of urgency and purpose by Dakota Stone here. Nice right hand by Stone. This has been by far the best round Dakota Stone has had in this fight. Left hook by Gabriels. But as round 7 winds down, there's no question Dakota Stone has done her best work by far. Sets up an intriguing potential ending to this fight. And there is Dakota Stone as we're heading into the final rounds of this fight. It's scheduled for 10. Gabriel's working very well on the inside, but that in a round in which Stone did some good work of her own. Here she is pushing Gabriel's back, working the body. There were also some very good right hands mixed in by Stone. There was Gabriel's landing a couple of shots. But all in all, in round 7, Dakota Stone did some very, very good work. We head into round number 8. It is scheduled for 10. That's Hanna Gabriel, the WBO light middleweight titleist. And there's Dakota Stone, the 42-year-old veteran, who has probably dug herself a hole where she will need at least some knockdowns, maybe a knockout or something dramatic to win this fight, but she had a very good 7th round. There's a jab by Stone. Let's see if Hanna Gabriels comes out with renewed vigor. Good right hand by Stone. Gabriels moving again as she has been, and Stone now stalking her. Stone landing a nice right hand. And look at Stone, you feel like she wants to get in the inside desperately. The movement of Hanna Gabriel is still good. Nice combination punching by Gabriel. She lands the right hand, pushes Stone against the ropes for a moment. Here in round 8, we're about halfway through the round, scheduled for 10. Third man in the ring is Gino Rodriguez. One of the rare clinches that he's had to break. Halfway through the round, a close round. Good jab by Hanna Gabriels, and a left hook by Gabriels. And an excellent overhand right. So Gabriels has started to sharpshoot a little bit in this round. Nice combination by Gabriel. Gino Rodriguez stepped in. You kidding me? He stopped the fight? Goodness gracious, that's one of the most bizarre stoppages I have ever seen. Hanna Gabriel herself looking confused by it and really amazed. She shrugs her hands as if to say, well, I didn't do that. I don't get it. See, Dakota Stone is really completely surprised and outraged over this. Her cornermen are really giving it to Gino Rodriguez. That is one of the strangest stoppages I have ever seen in a fight, men or women. At that moment, there didn't appear to be any danger. And you see Dakota Stone, she is telling a WBO official there, pleading her case. They can't imagine why this fight was stopped. And the crowd has reacted the same way too. And you see the sportsman in Hanna Gabriels going over and giving Dakota Stone a hug. And these two women have had a very convivial lead up to this fight. So they've had a good relationship, and you see it continuing there. But clearly a strange decision, and strange is just a euphemism for bad, by Gino Rodriguez, the referee, who for whatever reason decided to step in. Now make no mistake, that woman, Dakota Stone, was probably behind on all the scorecards, but had her best round in round 7. And as Hanna Gabriels tries to explain to the local TV reporter here what happened, even she is puzzled, and the crowd has booed the stoppage, and they're fans of Hanna Gabriel, so they certainly want to see her win. But you can tell that this stoppage has not made her feel good. Now let's go back and take a look at some of the action and pick it up. Now there's Hanna Gabriels, who landed some very, very good combinations. That was a good combination right there, and that was the one, I believe, after this. Now look at Dakota Stone slipped that punch, and right after that is when the referee, Gino Rodriguez, stepped in to stop the fight, which was, by all accounts, almost inexplicable. Neither woman had been down. Neither had really been hurt badly. Both had landed significant punches. There was swelling underneath the right eye of Dakota Stone, but it didn't look like anything. The doctor had not visited the corner at any juncture. So we're left with kind of a puzzling situation here. Taking nothing away from that woman, Hanna Gabriels, who performed very well in this match, and certainly was likely far ahead. That, by the way, peeking in his head was Brian Vasquez, her fiance, who is the #1 WBA super featherweight contender. And of course, he's happy that she won, and she's happy she won as well, I'm sure. But you can see the look in her face. The circumstances of her victory were not how she imagined it. And remember, she had never been 10 full rounds. She won in a TKO in the 10th round against Perez. But many were curious to see how she would do. And in a way, the stoppage of this fight, it's like stopping a Broadway play with 15 minutes left to go in Act 3. You want to know how it ends. And clearly, the remainder of this fight would have been intriguing. So Hanna Gabriel getting her win, defending her title for the 3rd time against Dakota Stone, and getting the job done. But in the process, it leaves what some will think is a bitter taste in her mouth for this victory. So this crowd at Palacios de los Deportes in San Jose, Costa Rica, leaves secure in the knowledge that that woman, Hanna Gabriels, has defended her WBO crown. She's there with her mother, and also on her left, Brian Vasquez, her fiance, who's one of the best super featherweights in the men's division in the world. You can see her smile. It's sinking in that, yeah, I defended my title despite the controversy, and those two, the biggest power couple in Costa Rica, will celebrate this big victory. Al Bernstein for the Boxing Channel, here with Dakota Stone after she lost a technical knockout decision in round 8 to Hanna Gabriels, a very controversial decision by referee Gino Rodriguez to stop the fight. It was the 8th round. You had lost many of the rounds leading up to it. In round 7, you probably had your best round in the fight, won the round. And in round 8, she was coming back, landed a series of combinations, and Gino Rodriguez inexplicably stopped the fight. Right. Why did he say he stopped the fight?
He said he stopped the fight for safety reasons. He didn't explain further than that, except that I could have a rematch. I could fight again another day. That's all he said. He wouldn't give me any other reason than that.
Did you ask him what safety, or did he say to anybody what the safety he was talking about? Did he feel like it was your eye? I mean, you have a swollen eye, but obviously it's not.
Swollen eye, but I'm a fighter. That's what happens. You get a swollen eye. You get hit, you get a swollen eye. get a fat lip. It's boxing.
What,
But
now,
my eyes weren't dazed. I wasn't wobbly. I mean, there was absolutely no reason. He couldn't give me a reason, and the doctor said there was no reason to stop the fight. The doctor said, what happened? Why did you stop the fight? So, that referee is the only person who has any reason that.
Al, I think this is just another one of these bad jobs. We've had some terrible refereeing, in boxing, and it gives boxing a black eye. Dakota's a warrior, and she's going to fight to the very last round. You have to give her an opportunity. We knew this was a young girl, and she was going to be strong for at least 5-6 rounds. Our game plan was to come in, after 5 rounds and start coming on, and that's what she started doing. She started catching up to her. She was getting tired, and it was just a matter of time where she would have been able to stand there and hit her with some real solid shots.
well, and we can't say whether you would have won in those last few rounds. However, the fact is you did have a good round in round 7, and she showed grit in coming back in that 8th round. But the point is, it's a 10-round fight. I agree with you, by the way, that unfortunately we've started off the year 2012 with another bad refereeing job. I'm loath to criticize officials. I, unfortunately, had to sit through, announce the Russell Moore atrocity of Abner Mares and Joseph McBeckel. I'm sorry I had to be here tonight to witness this. Now, for you, this loss is an especially tough one because you had 6 weeks to prepare. You came in off the Christy Martin fight, and as you pointed out, a big part of what you wanted to try and do was take her into the deep water in the last few rounds. Did you honestly feel, and round 7 was an example, that you were making some headway?
Exactly. I saw what my openings were. I saw where she was weak. I saw where I could hit her with. And I saw which punches she was looking for. She's constantly looking for the right hand. So we knew what we wanted to counter her with. We knew how we wanted to draw her in. And we were just waiting for the right moment to strike. And it's round 7, and we started putting it together. Round 8, we looked at each other. We said, okay, we got these 3 rounds. We're going to take her out. It was time. She was ready to go.
Do you think the referee was, I'm going to ask this flat out, do you think the referee was protecting her?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious, right? I mean, why else would you stop the fight? I mean, unless she's tired, she's getting hurt. I started hitting with her big punches. I could see it in her face. I could see it in her body language. She was not taking those punches well at the end. She was getting really tired. She was huffing and puffing in the corner. She was ready to go.
Now, she, being a very classy sportsman, she had a look on her face at the end of this like, I didn't get why this happened. And toward that end, you have to give her props for that.
Oh, yeah. I gave her a hug, and she said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. She knew it.
So she understood.
Oh, yeah. She apologized. She didn't want that to happen. She's a fighter. I mean,
and you know what's interesting, and I think you'll both agree with me, I'm not usually this opinionated while doing interviews, but I have to say, it also deprives her of the chance to close out a win if she could do it against a veteran who would take her the whole way.
Right. That puts a stain on her. And I know she didn't want that. Yeah. She wants to be the true champion, have no doubts about her abilities, and she did not want it to be stopped either. Okay.
The obvious question, would you be interested in the rematch with her?
Of course. And I told them I'm ready right now. Let's go. Let's have the rematch.
Well, maybe not right this second, although you could, I guess.
Yeah, no, I definitely would rematch her. I would hope we have a different referee. But other than that,
might help a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on a good effort. Obviously, as we said, you were behind in the fight, but you had a very good round 7, and you fought well. And I thought, my own personal opinion was, it was a very well-fought fight by both of you to that point.
Right, it was. And we were on our game plan. We didn't have intention of winning the first 3 rounds. Right. Our game plan was to take her out in the last 3 rounds.
Were you tired at all at that point?
No.
All right.
I trained 10 rounds a day in the gym with men, 3-minute rounds, 30-second break, and they alternate rounds, so they come in fresh every round. I was ready for this fight. I wasn't tired. I wasn't winded. I was ready.
Well, good effort, and I know it's a very difficult pill to swallow for you, but I don't think anyone that watched this fight or saw it feels that you have anything to hang your head about.
Right. No, I don't feel ashamed of me. I feel ashamed of the sport.
Yeah, well, another tough night for referees here in Costa Rica, but for Dakota Stone, a very gallant effort, even in a loss.